Good afternoon and welcome to the weather update. It's March 24th, 2019, around 2:30 p.m. And for some areas it's quite warm outside. You can see here we have, we'll look at the Ventus sky here and you will see here temperatures are, looks like they're well into the 50s, maybe 60 in New Jersey. And on Long Island, looks like we do have a sea breeze that is developing, keeping us a little cooler. So let's look at some observations and see what it's like across the area this afternoon. Farmingdale is 53 degrees, so you can see there's a sea breeze. South wind at 15, gusting to 21. And we can look at New York City, it'll probably be warmer there. 58 degrees, and the wind is not available there. But I'm sure if we hit Toms River, it'll be still much warmer there. Let's see what they have. 60, yep. Toms River, the warmest spot once again. Southwest wind 17, gusting to 21. The humidity is very low, though. 19% humidity. The dew point is 18 degrees. So with these kind of conditions, actually, it's very favorable for fires, wildfires. So we have to be careful of that. Looking at the satellite, you can see here plenty of cirrus moving in to our area here. This is a cold front that is approaching us. You can clearly see it on here, actually. And if we actually look at the Ventus sky, you can actually see it on the Ventus sky too. If you pull out a little bit, you can actually see the front a little bit. But if you go even further to the north, you'll be able to see. Look at this, some really cold air. I wish that was coming straight down, but it's not. Unfortunately, you can see here. Here's the ridge kind of showing up here already. The ridge, but fortunately, the ridge will get pushed back once more. But this will be the last time it does. So we'll take a look at the models. We'll look at the temperatures. We'll start over looking at the temperatures, I guess, this week, just for our area. So as we go, and you can see we've warmed up. Tomorrow we have a front passing through. Temperatures will drop a bit, upper 40s, and then for Tuesday we're below normal into the mid 40s. For Wednesday, maybe recovering to the upper 40s. And for Thursday, probably starting to warm up as we get on that return flow, and we're in the upper 50s in New Jersey, and probably around 50 on Long Island. And then for Friday, things really start to warm up. So that's what we have to look forward to the weekend. Things might get downright hot for the weekend. Actually, temperature is near 70 degrees which is very above normal. It looks like it does cool down for Sunday though, and then we get that heat again as we get into April. Or have the models backed off on it. Maybe they've backed off on it. They backed off on it. Great. Alright, good. So maybe we won't get that heat. See, that's why you got to watch the long range, because the long range is going to be very unpredictable with the models. You can see last night we were talking about a week of heat, and now the GFS is backed off on that. So that's actually good news. So and sorry, I don't like it that hot. It's not good. All right, it's not normal. You know. Anyway, let's get to the cloud cover. All right. So for a Monday, yeah, we'll still have plenty of clouds around tomorrow. But for Tuesday, should be a nice day. It should clear out by the afternoon, early afternoon, and those clouds kind of move away. Wednesday, we may have some increasing clouds on Wednesday, and then Thursday we may have some clouds around as well. So originally it looked like we're gonna have 3 clear days. Now we may only have 1. And then for Friday, yeah, it's gonna be junky for the weekend. It looks like, but maybe we can clear it out once we get into April again. Nope. I'm going to be stuck in the clouds a while. Yeah, we're going to be playing with stall fronts. Of course, that's the long range. So, again, like I said before, the long range is not predictable. We don't know what's going to happen with that long range. There's a lot of factors at play, when you're talking about the long range. You look at the NAM model. So we do have a little bit of a precipitation event coming for tomorrow. So I guess we can go over that. So let's go over that. Very light precipitation event. That might actually wind up staying to the south. Yep. So I don't even think we're going to see any precipitation according to the NAM. That'll be over New Jersey. And that's it. So it's pretty good, I would say. So it does stay dry, for a while, I guess. But think that's pretty good. So let's just look at one more thing here. I'll just look at the. Let's just go back to the CONUS view. Let me go back to the GFS. Go back to the CONUS view, and look at that again. So just to show you the general pattern as we head into April. All right, so yeah, we have this big high moving in, should bring us nice weather this week, and that moves out. Junky weekend probably. Looks like stall fronts. Yeah, stall front syndrome. Yep, and probably could be a heavy rainstorm around Thursday, April the 4th there. And then another, so yeah, it looks like we're going to be having some stall front syndrome, which is kind of typical for April. It's not really that untypical to have it. But that is what the forecast shows. So let's so that's pretty much what the forecast is showing. So again, once you go in the long range, it gets unpredictable. But that ridge is still building. So it's, like I said, that ridge is going to be a problem. Whether it's going to bring a stall front syndrome or heat, well, that's yet to be determined. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about in this weather update, again, is something very unusual that may not be happening in our area, but is a sign of climate change. And that is all the cyclone activity. Now, cyclones are what hurricanes are in the southern hemisphere. And unlike in the northern hemisphere, these rotate clockwise. All right, so this is Cyclone Victoria that is actually making an impact into Australia here. And we're looking at the wind field here. And these are sustained winds. But if we look at the gusts, I'm sure that's even higher. Yeah, we have gusts well over 100 miles an hour here. So this is making an impact into Australia. You normally don't think of Australia and cyclones, particularly in this part of Australia. It's kind of unusual to see cyclones here. And there's another one actually out here. I don't know what the name of this one is. If we go over here, there's another one. This one's even worse. I don't know what the name of this is, and I'm sorry if you know, they don't really, the Hurricane Center does not cover this part of the world. So again, very intense cyclone there as well. That is making an impact into this area. You can see here, just look at how fast those winds are going. But you know what, if we back it up to last night, this thing was even stronger. Yeah, it actually does show up as Veronica. So here, so it is giving us a name now. Yeah, look at those wind gusts, 120, 130 miles an hour as this was heading right into this area of Australia. And we're going back to wind speed here. And you see here's the wind speed. So if it gave us the name of this one, it should give us the name of the other one. So let's see. It does. Yeah, this one is called Johanna. Alright, so this one is called Joninha. Sorry if I can't pronounce it. But this is also a big storm. These are one thing we've been noticing here with these storms is that they have big eyes. So here it is on the satellite. And you can see it's weakened as it's moved inland. We're going to back this up to yesterday. Alright. And you can see here's Victoria, and look at that big eye. I mean, the storm is huge. The eye, there's something we've been noticing with these tropical cyclones lately, or hurricanes, tropical storms, whatever you want to call them, though in the southern hemisphere they're called cyclones. That we have big eyes forming, and this may be a sign of climate change. And the other thing to note, this is not an area that's supposed to get storms. This is a desert. This part of Australia is pretty much a desert. It's called the Outback, I believe. So they don't really get a lot of rain here. So all the rain that this thing is going to bring is going to cause chaos, a terrible flooding. The only good thing is it's relatively uninhabited. They do have a couple of small cities, which I hope have been evacuated because this is going to be a mess. And they're actually affected by 2 cyclones. So if we go and look at the news here, there are actually 2 of them. That actually affected. So if we look at this story here, you see 2 cyclones because there was another one. There was Trevor also. So if we go and we back up, you can see here's Trevor over here. So again, Australia usually is not a place you think of when it comes to cyclones. And yes, the northern part here does get them somewhat. You can see that's where the green is because it's more of a humid climate. But in the west, it's dry. It's a dry place. And that's what makes this so unusual. And we can actually take a look and move this up to current time, which is right here. So we can move this up to current time, and we can take a look at the amount of rain that's going to be affected here, and you can just see the amount of rain that is going to fall here. We're talking over a period of 3 hours, over an inch an hour at least in this area here. So this is a lot of rain, and this is lightning strikes. So you're getting a lot of lightning too, as well. That's showing up on here. I like this tool; it's actually pretty good. So I just want to show you the area that this storm is hitting, so you can get an idea that this is not an area that you would think of as a place where a tropical cyclone would hit. So this is Australia, and by and large, it's a dry continent. And when we take a look at the into sky, you can see we have some very heavy precipitation events going on. This is what happens when the oceans get warmer. There's more moisture in the air, there's more clouds, there's more storms. And so the areas that are seeing these kind of storms are areas that have never seen these kind of storms before. So I believe it's hitting around Port Hedland and these areas here. And I just want to show you, look at this. You don't see any green here at all. This is the Outback. This is like a desert. It's somewhat of a savanna. I mean, there are some low-growing plants to show you what it looks like, but it almost reminds you a little bit of the Great Plains. Well, not quite, but there's some basically grasses, but it's mostly very much like a desert over here, and it's very open. So there's nothing to stop these winds, slow them down, and it's very unusual to see that kind of. Usually, this is a desert type of area here. You can see just all the red, not a lot of green here. So this is what I'm saying. It's like a desert area, but they're receiving a lot of rain, and we may start seeing because of climate change. We may start seeing trees grow in places that we wouldn't expect them to grow in, like this, because it's getting rainfall. I mean, these are deserts. It literally says desert right here. All right, these areas are going to get rain, heavy rain. Maybe up to 10, 15 inches of rain, particularly along here. So it's very unusual to see that kind of thing happen. And again, this is all due to climate change. The warmer oceans are altering the patterns that we're seeing. The ice melt, all that stuff. And there are people out there that don't want to believe in it. One of my viewers posted a bunch of links, from some right-wing group that's actually funded by fossil fuels, that says, "Oh, climate change, even if it is happening, isn't that bad." That's the way these people are. They're just incredibly vain. I think Carly Simon wrote a song for people like that. It's called "You're So Vain." Can't play it because of copyright, but this is what's going on here. So this is what you have. So I'm going to link you some of these news stories about. This is so if we go and look at this is the remnants of Trevor right over here. That are and this is Victoria here again. You wouldn't think of cyclones in the middle of the Australian outback, but we're seeing it because of climate change. That's going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching.